turn the header off and it goes racing away from you, which is less than ideal. Okay, let's get, oh come on. I tell you what, these tractors are struggling up this hill. And Big Farmer 56969, welcome to Saturday morning stream on Maypole Farm. I can't remember if I announced myself this morning. My name is Osa. We're playing Farming Simulator 22 on Maypole Farm. And today we're doing potato harvests for other people. Because I'm nice like that. Or something. Yeah, this tractor is definitely struggling, but not as much as the Valtra T was with the manual gearbox. Okay, you're good. So we could take a trip over to our other farm. There we go. So yeah, a couple of weeks ago I took out this shed. We now have this, which is empty, but I can buy lime and solid fertilizer. Not that I need any right this minute. And then this one is full of stuff. It has 3,000 litres of herbicide, 2,000 litres of liquid fertilizer. That might be a little unrealistic, but it just makes things easier. The base game ones only hold liquid fertilizer and solid fertilizer, and then I put down a little concrete pad for them to sit on. The mods, the buildings themselves have a little square of concrete, so I just filled it in. And we paid them those from the potato harvest, so I don't have any fertilizer or herbicide IBC sitting around in this section. How's about buying some diesel? I'll get 500 litres bought here. I think I might also jump here and check what's here. 530, that's fine. So that's that. Oh, that's right. I demolished this because we don't need it anymore. This was the liquid fertilizer tank. And round the corner here, I've demolished the solid fertilizer tank that was over in this corner. We're keeping the seed tank here because you can put seeds in it and mineral feed. We're going to need some more mineral feed when we come through here. I might buy 10,000 litres. Yeah, 10,000 litres is good. Buy, yes. So 10,000 litres, and once you put something in these ones, I can't switch it to seeds. There's no storage space, so basically it's either or. Well, we got the seed tank on the other farm, so that's where we're keeping all of our arable equipment. Meanwhile, here we have 230,000 litres of food, nearly a full tank of milk. Straw is good, slurry is big, and we have a good supply of silage straw and hay for the feed robot. We just don't have any mineral feed, which is why I needed that delivered there. Okay, we'll slip backwards. That is full already. Good grief. That didn't take long. Now this cannot take a full load from the harvester. And I think we're going back to the store where the grain elevator is for these deliveries. Take a check just to make sure. Cows, money, tractors, contracts. Okay. These are going, yeah, grain elevator. That's round the back of the store. And we need to deliver 167,000 litres, which is going to be at least 3 trips. So again, we are full. 19,000, yeah, 19,000. I do not have a Discord chat, and I sort of keep getting distracted when I try and set it up. So that may be something I look into at some time. The problem is that I'm kind of busy. I'm a computer programmer in real life, and the last thing I want to do is be messing around with computer stuff after finishing work. As you already know from the noise in the other room, we have the kids, former foster kids, over this weekend. So we need to keep them occupied. We've got to arrange a visit to Sam's because we're running out of stuff. And last month was an expensive month because both cars needed some maintenance. Oh, you. Well, guess you're going to fit in behind us. But yeah, busy day today. I've also got to change the water in the fish tank because that's been running a while. Next weekend I've got to clean the filter. But we'll see how things go. I mean, in the past I've sort of what's the word for it? I've made use of other people's Discords, but usually because we're all playing the same games. So even when the other person isn't on Discord, I'm on Discord with my group. And try not to crash into the hedge. Looks like the Kubota's stuck behind a vehicle, and well, the Deutz is still moving as well, so we're good. Going off mic for a second. Okay, I'm back. Mrs. Osa got up, so quick update on what the kids are doing. And how's the... Yes. So what I was doing with the last one was I'll turn the worker off on that. Turn the worker off on that. I like how they jump when you turn the worker off. And I'm unloading from the grain doors, which is why it's unloading so slowly. But the advantage of doing it that way is you don't bash the trailer against the roof. Okay, that's actually 17% transported. That's a good load. So now we need to weave my way out of here. And I'll take the John Deere back now, because the harvester will probably fill up before we get the rest of the carts unloaded. So I'm going to need to be in the field ready to unload it.
Let's watch TV.
Is baby awake?
Yes.
I'll do it in a few minutes and we'll do the eye stuff. And baby's ear drops.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't remember if I mentioned that on previous streams. A former foster boy ran into a hedge just before Christmas and got a splinter in his eye, so he had to have surgery to remove the splinter. He had to have surgery again to remove the stitches, so he's kind of still recovering from that. So he has medicine for his eye every day at the moment. And then the girl foster child has an ear infection this week, so that's a thing too. Oh, and try not to drive into the field. So yeah, that field to our right had potatoes in. We finished that off earlier this morning off the stream. Actually, I did it last week. But game day wise, we got up at 7 o'clock in the morning and did that. Our farm is done. We have no work to do on it until harvest time, which will be next spring. November we will probably see now, because we're at this edge of the field and it's starting to slope away from us. The worker is not going to do patches of this end. That's not too bad. We can do that after it's all done. Anyway, let's get this unloaded on the fly. Ugh. Yeah, frequently after the stream I may continue doing stuff in preparation for next week or whatever. So last week, actually I think it was last week on Monday, I did the potato harvest. No, it wasn't. It was Sunday night. I did the potato harvest because we only had the one car. There you go. And okay, he's empty. I should get out of his way. That would be a plan. No, wrong way. So this thing, I don't think I need to use the grain door here. This factory's a little bit glitchy. You can sometimes see through it, and sometimes not, and sometimes when you're looking through it, the wheels of the vehicle you're driving disappear. That's 29% done. I'll just drive that up to there and we'll jump over to this one. And again, this one I've got on a grain door unload. I should put in a second grain door. I think 2 grain doors is an option for these. Although technically not so easy on this. You would have to take the entire back door off and replace it with a door with twin chutes, and obviously that's kind of expensive. So yes, this map is Maypole Farm. We can put up the map while that's unloading. we are down here at the store. The grain elevator's at the back here. This is the main starter farm, which is surrounded by a bunch of grass fields plus a couple of arable fields. Has, I believe, cows and sheep on it, maybe pigs. We started up here. This is our original yard. We can support pigs. We have cows, and most of our grass handling equipment is stored here. We then later bought this yard, which is purely arable, and we've got things like our harvesters, our sprayers, our seeders, and everything else up here. We also have a beehive. This is now our house, which is attached to this yard. We did have a house here, but we demolished it to make way for a bigger field. We started off with this grass field and this arable field. We expanded here. We had this grass field because it's attached to the cowshed, and we're slowly buying into here. Field 58, we bought this year during the right at the end of the summer. The farmer who owned it already had oats in it, so we're going to have to live with the oats. Also, it's not been limed, but we have managed to get it completely fertilized. We are playing with precision farming, so all that entails, that the fact that that field is not limed is going to penalize us with our environmental bonus that we get from selling crops. We have dealt with most of the other deficiencies on that field. However, we've taken a penalty for buying it, and once it's harvested, we will get some of our our environmental points back. But because it's only a small part of the farm, it's not a big impact on the farm's overall environmental score. That's the thing to remember. As your farm gets bigger, you can add new fields to the farm, and the fact that they're not ideal environmental score-wise doesn't matter quite so much, because they're a smaller percentage of your overall farm. So long as you keep your existing fields in ideal condition, then the penalty's not so bad. When you're starting out, you buy a new field and your farm's average just plummets. But we're past that point now. I think we're on the 5th year, I want to say. And still primarily our crops are cereals and canola and soybeans. Normally I'm running soybeans in the newly purchased field for the first year, just because they pay a nice amount of money, and you don't have to worry too much about the nitrogen levels in them. We're playing 3-day seasons, so there's 3 days per month, and personal game rules, I'm only allowed to do contracts 1 game day per month. So this game day, October 3, is the contract work day. I also have to sell all my perishables, so where we're producing, I get annoyed with that. Actually, let's... Oh no, we're in the 4th year. Okay. And I can jump back to the John Deere there. We'll go and top off this card. Yeah, so it's basically, the rules I'm playing is an attempt to not let income run away. If playing 3-day seasons, you can do all of the harvesting contracts in 1 game month, which is just too easy money. So that's why I'm only doing 1 game day allowed for contracts. We're playing hard mode, so there's that. We started off obviously with the $500,000 loan and almost no equipment. Our starting tractor was actually the Deutz, which was on sale, so that's a good deal. We loaded it, front loader arms, crop sensors, all of the toys, just so it could serve all the jobs on the farm. Okay, what do I need? I need that one. But the farm is going reasonably well, and generally we're running on used equipment even today. My philosophy is buy fields, they make money. Brand new tractors don't make money. If I can get a used tractor that does the job, it does the job. I don't have to buy something that's brand new. So all of our equipment is used. Obviously these 3 pieces of equipment are borrowed for the harvest. So they're not mine, but used equipment is a thing in FS22 when you're doing a contract and borrowing the equipment. I must admit, it's been a week since I've looked at the store sales, so maybe we'll do that now. Big wheel loader and a tiny bale collector. So, oh, you can do all of the tiny bales. Well, anyway, I don't need those, so that's fine. List of our equipment. We have actually, yeah, that's fine. We have the 5S, which is used 68.5 hours on it. This is fully configured as a front loader tractor, so it's got wheel weights, it's got the panoramic roof, it's got front loader attacher. It doesn't have a front 3-point. We did upgrade the engine to 125. And I wasn't planning to buy it at the time, but it came up on the sale and it was just too good to pass up. The medium tractors, the Deutz, we've had this for ages, 140 hours, 72 months, and it served us well. And then this thing came up, 8R, I've upgraded it to 388 horsepower. Apart from that, it's bog standard tractor. That allows me the option of expanding in the future, so we can get bigger seeders, bigger cultivators and that type of thing. Harvester was used. Again, this is kind of traditional. It's our starting harvester, and it has been our starting harvester on every single Saturday series I've run back to Farm Sim 17. We've got skid steer loaders, we've got telly trucks. These were both used, and I've positioned those at some of our production facilities. And then pretty much everything else is what it is. The front loader tools, this is stored at the store, so we can load trailers with stuff when we go to the store to buy. Sometimes it's cheaper to go to the store than it is to get things delivered. Back in Farm Sim 17, we played on law folds, which had refill points on every single farmyard for seed fertilizer and liquid fertilizer. However, you paid about 10% more if you took advantage of those facilities, so it was much easier to get, or much cheaper, should I say, to go to the store and just fill up an order wagon. For law folds, although it's not as realistic in the UK, we used a pair of augers one full of seed, one full of solid fertilizer, and we would just drive to the fields with the auger cart and unload seed into a seeder or fertilizer into whatever needed it. I try not to be too unrealistic when I'm doing things though, so this map is technically Ireland, not the UK, but people drive on the left. The speed limits are in kilometres an hour. I think the currency is supposed to be euros, but no, I didn't want to do that. I actually wanted to turn the engine off while we're just sitting there. But for some equipment, you just don't have an option. I need a seeder that's maximum 350 horsepower, and unfortunately the only one in game is US. I'll live with it. Typically there would be an option in Europe for a similar sized capability seeder, but different brand name. It's like the X-Tractor we're running is from the Anderson kit from FS22. Giants released that as a subsequent mod early on. You can't get Anderson equipment in Europe, but you can get Kern equipment. So, just because that's not available here doesn't mean somebody else's version of it. I'm using the Anderson Collection Bale. Why am I going down that side? The Anderson Bale Collection trailer. Again, it's not something that's available in Europe, but there are options that are available under a different brand name. So we make do. And I can probably let this run for a bit. I like this track. This is 247 horsepower. You can't upgrade the engine, but it definitely has a fairly good horsepower rating. I have tried the Massey Ferguson 6S, which is limited to 200, and on this map that struggles. So I find 250 horsepower is just adequate enough that you don't suffer from speed loss or anything else like that. So it's interesting. So when I was looking at this, I don't know what that means. I wonder if that's lifetime. No, that's 12. That's only 33 hours, 22 months. I don't know why that's that low. Well, we could jump into it and see. Maintenance on that is 87. I have no idea what that means.